and I'm here with UFC fighter Adrian Yanez. Hey man, how are you, man?
Man, doing good, man. A couple weeks out from the fight, so man, I'm really excited, ready to go, honestly.
Yeah, I see that coming up, and that's awesome, man. Congratulations on that fight going to be on July 24th.
Oh yes, yeah, man. I'm super pumped, super excited. Got a really tough opponent in Randy Costa, so he's gonna come forward the whole entire time. So I'm excited. I'm ready.
Well, that's great, man. I'm really happy for you. Yeah, you've been on it said you're on a six fight win streak. So you're kind of building up your rep there.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. Consistently, man. I had to actually take a look back at it and just be like, man, because I didn't realize that I was on a 6 fight win streak, and I had to go back because I feel like my losses were kind of like yesterday, and because I think about them a little bit more because I had to learn a little bit more about them. So I look at it, I was like, and I kind of forget how many wins I stacked up. So it's pretty cool. I do like going back every once in a while looking.
hey, it's good to it's good to do reflection if it's on a positive. It's always good to move forward, but it's of course it's good to see on your trip to success how you got there. Why not?
Oh
So
yeah.
so you've been involved with the UFC for a little while now. You got you won the Contender Series and you had a nice win against Brady Hong. So and then from there it's just sort of you just win. So that's great, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm finally able to do this full time and actually train consistently like how I want to. So it's been nothing but great things for me, and I'm excited. Like I'm glad that I'm super happy that I was able to put myself in this position. So it's man, I'm just super excited. It's like I really can't explain it. Like I'm just happy.
Okay. And so it's interesting that you say that you are fighting now full time. So you're just doing this because I have talked to a few UFC fighters who have other jobs. And so what was the I guess the thing that got you to be able to just focus on this full time? Was it just you're winning and getting a better contract, or is it just you're focused just on doing this now?
Man, it was actually I made the decision to quit my job to put my 2 weeks notice in the month of October, and like my fight date was October 31st on Halloween, and I put my 2 weeks notice 2 weeks before 2 weeks before fight week, and I just had this like this immense belief in myself that I was gonna stop this guy, whoever it was in front of me, and like I was gonna secure like a real like I was gonna secure the $50,000 bonus, and pretty much I just had so much belief in myself that I was gonna do it that whenever I went in there, I actually did it. I went in there and I got the stoppage in the first round, and got a performance bonus, and pretty much like what I made in that night, what I made in that night was doubled what I usually make at the job that I was working at. So I was like, well, I'm covered for 2 years if I need it. So that makes it easier for me. And then it also helped that I was fighting again in March, and then that fight went exactly how I planned it for it to go, and also got another bonus there. So it makes it easier for me. It makes life a little bit easier for me to go train, be able to do a little bit more, be a little bit more free, and just focus solely on training. So that's been the biggest blessing about all this.
It's nice to have a little money in the bank, right?
Oh yeah, man,
Yeah.
it makes the world go around, man.
It makes it sort of it's like this relief that it's hard to explain to people, well, people who have money. And I've gone up and down, up and down, up and down. I was homeless at one point. That's part of my whole thing. And now I got my doctorate. I'm a therapist, and um It is. It's a nice relief, and you know, to look at you like versus sometimes I talk to the other fighters. There are other fighters I talk to who have other jobs but are still this very jovial. Like the one guy I really enjoy talking to who has another job, but he's just such a nice person. Is Jorgen De Castro. He's in. He fought Greg Hardy. I think he fought. Did he fight Tafa? I'm not sure if he fought Tafa, but he's like, I do it for my family. I do it for my family. And other than that, most of the fighters I talk to, they have like they have other jobs, but they don't have this like they have great spirits. They're all very calm and stuff, but you have that calmness to you, like you're just very happy with what you're in a good place in your life.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like I've worked hard just to get to this place. So it's like now that I'm here, it's one of those things that like I'm just enjoying all the moments that I have because I get always kind of look at it like this. Like I know one day all this can actually kind of be gone anyways. So just enjoy the moments that you're having now. Uh Man, because I'm enjoying this whole entire process. This like I'm doing something that like less than 1% of the population does. You know, and I'm in a spot where less than 1% of the population can even get to. So like this is weird. This is like a kid growing up wanting to be in the NFL and like finally getting there. So that's my equivalent to that. So I'm enjoying this whole entire process, and I like in the fact that I don't have to worry about the money or having to worry about like paying bills or anything like that. That's what makes it so much easier. Uh, and honestly, like it doesn't add the stress. I know there's a lot of fighters that have to fight for money or fight because they feel like they have to or anything. Like, no, I'm fighting because I love to do this. This is one of those things that I love to do. And the fact that that's paying me is even better.
Yeah, and you nailed it. You nailed it right on the head. You know, I've talked to Eric Anders, um, and he's Eric Anders and Tyler King. Now, Tyler King was on the Ultimate Fighter 19, and Eric Anders is in UFC, and they both played in the NFL or had their little stints in the NFL. And Eric Anders especially said to me that I'm in the NFL of the MMA community. So the UFC is like that. And I told Tyler the same thing. I think that he made it to the NFL, you know, he made it to he made it to the show too. He made it Ultimate Fighter. He ultimately didn't make it, but Bellator is nothing to sneeze at. And so, you know, you're exactly right that you are, I mean, you are beyond lower than less than 1%. I mean, how many professional MMA fighters are there on the roster of UFC? What are there? Maybe 500. Then if you had Bellator, another 500. So, I mean, it's probably the lowest professional sport out there, you know, and you guys have, I think, surpassed hockey as the fourth most, you know, as far as the major sports. So can you give me 1 second? Stay right there because I have a thought. Hold on 1 second. All right. Very, very professional. Very professional. I heard the radio on again, but you know, I got this suspicion that you believe in Jesus.
Well, there's a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you did. No, I did. Listen, no, that was a joke because I can see all the crosses behind you. So I was like, that's good. It's good to have faith. I have faith. Um, it's good to you know, believe. And um, I'm a counselor. I do Christian counseling. I do regular counseling, but I'm also one of those guys who I'm a Christian counselor, but then I curse. So then it's like not everybody's shaped the same way, you know? So, so what is your, so what are your thoughts on tonight's, main event? You must have some thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, that's honestly this is one of those fights, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, the third. Like this is one of those fights that is gonna is definitely going to be, is going to live up to what it is. No matter if Conor wins, no matter if Dustin Poirier wins, it's going to live up to what this big hype is about, because Dustin's a really gritty guy who has really good boxing and doesn't mind going to the fourth and fifth round, going shot for shot with you. But also, you can't go shot for shot with Conor McGregor, because he has the power in his hands. You know, I was kind of watching a Teddy Atlas breakdown. It was kind of like this last fight. Dustin Poirier had a really good sense of range, and he was able to lessen the power of Conor McGregor on his left hands, and he kind of has this aura of like, man, I'm not in danger of these shots anymore. So he has to kind of be in that mind state of like, that they can still hurt me and still fight the way I fight, instead of just going and throwing caution in the wind, thinking you're gonna just knock him out once again. So it's one of these that it's like, it's interesting, and I kind of have it like how the bookies have it, a slight edge to Dustin Poirier, just because his fight was the most recent. His fight was most recent instead of like the Conor McGregor's first win back like several years ago. So I'm leaning towards Dustin, slight edge.
You know, I'm thinking the same along those lines with you. I'm liking the shit talking from Connor. I just think that Dustin is I've heard different things, but overall I've talked to a few of his teammates, and I heard he's like a really good dude. Like he's a really good dude, and I mean, I was a former stand-up comedian, right? So the opportunity, I mean, I don't have the skill set to fight, so I would never talk like this to you, anyone. Like I joke around with you guys sometimes. I told one fighter, I was like, don't upset. I was like, I'm so glad there's a screen there. Like you don't just come and grab me. Right? Because some of you guys are just really really sweet looking, nice guys. And then some of you do look like assassins. And so I was a stand-up comedian, and the reason I bring that up was I would get heckled every once in a while. It happens. I'm sure you've been to a stand-up comedy show. And there was so much opportunity for Dustin to just attack him but I think that stuff gets in his head. I don't think he likes that. So, I mean, because he could, there's so much. I'll never have Conor McGregor on this show. I have to know that, so I can say these things. But there's so many things he's done that you could say, oh, really? You're going to talk about that? How about,
Yeah.
but he's not doing it. And I'd be like, I would attack, but I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't, but I like this Conor McGregor, this kind of like back to the olden days, you know. It seems a little bit like a show now because he's got so much money, but I guess I'll go with Dustin as well. But I'll be watching tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, same here. I honestly can't wait. I can't wait for the full card. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for the whole thing. I kind of wish I was down there right now, kind of being able to sneak in and all that, but got the fight in 2 weeks, so I was like, all right, it's best if I just stay home and just kind of just chill and relax.
So when a fight like this occurs, and you know what's interesting about this card, I mean this card is stacked, but it's not that it's not getting the attention. It's great for everybody. I mean, I interviewed Duricus Duplessis, and he's on the preliminary tonight. And so I'm wishing him, I'm rooting for him because I talked to him. So, and he was nice enough to talk to me just like you are. So, it's when you have a show like this, if you wanted to go, do you reach out to the UFC, or would the UFC reach out to you, or is it like it's on your own dime?
I know for on like the Houston card, this last time they came to Houston, I got complimentary tickets from the UFC, and I was able to go watch. But I was campaigning to fight on that Houston card, so it was one of those kind of like, hey, well, I guess we can just throw you a bone. So I was like, maybe. So I don't know. Honestly, I probably just would have let them know that I'm going down there, and they probably wouldn't give me tickets or anything like that. But it was just one of those things. Like this last time in Houston, they just I ended up getting tickets. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. What are your, this is a it's an inspirational, motivational show. It's called Cousin Pat, the Cousin Pat Therapy Show, right? And it wasn't supposed to be an MMA show, but I've interviewed mostly MMA people and 2 non-MMA people, and I think I'm just gonna stick with the MMA community maybe. And now I'm doing all the marketing and just marketing to MMA fans and stuff. Uh, what is it? What is it about Connor? Because I don't want it to be about Connor, but there's a lesson there. Um, it's almost like lightning in a bottle, right? Where you got a guy, it's almost like the Logan Paul thing, where so many people, he's like the Logan Paul. Well, Logan, no. Let's say this the right way. Logan Paul is like the Conor McGregor of YouTube. And Conor McGregor is like the Michael Jordan in a way of UFC, but not really. I wouldn't say he's like the top 5. But what is it about? What is it about him that just makes him so electric? Like what? I still can't figure it out. I mean, it's the shit talking or something. Obviously,
Man,
the money now.
oh man, it's there's a lot of things that go to it. Like I never understood when people would always go out there and be like, that guy has the it factor, and that guy has this. Like he has it, and I would never really understand it. Like you even see it in Hollywood when people were like, "Come on, that guy has it." Like, oh, what does he have? Like, can you explain that to me exactly? But like Connor has that thing. He has that it factor. He has the gift of gab. He can talk his way into anything, and then also he goes out there and honestly, the best part about it is that whenever he came into the UFC, his gift of talking and being able to like rile people up, get people's attention, and just command authority at that point in time at that stage of his career, and then he goes out there and is putting everybody down, and he's talking the talk and he's walking the walk, man. Like people love that. So whenever he's able to get in the bigger position, like when he fought Jose Aldo, I think that's the one that set him over the top. That he was like he's the guy. Like he goes out there, like just does everything in promotional type of ways right, and ends up going out there and putting on a 13-second knockout that phenomenal. So it's a lot of things. It's a big mixture. It's a really big mixture. He has the gift of gab. He can talk his talk, and he walks the walk. And then also, man, his fights is just one of those things that like it becomes people wanting to watch you lose, and then people wanting to watch you win. You got those like big amount of fans that after years and years that he's built up. So man, it's a lot of things, man. It's kind of hard just to pinpoint one thing, but I'll just go back to what everybody usually says. Like he has that it factor.
Yeah, no, he does. And I think I think what happened was when he fought Cowboy, he had a certain investigation. I don't want to give his business away, because honestly, he's still a guy, and who knows what was true and what wasn't. But he had a few investigations on him about various things. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And so he played nicey nice, I think, and it worked. He beat Cowboy. So I think he tried it again with Dustin, and it didn't work. So now he's like, and people are questioning him all the time. So he's going back to his old way, and he doesn't have the family with him, he's saying. And so who knows? But I'm actually so excited for this. 2 days ago, I wasn't. And then yesterday I was like, holy crap, like I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So and God, if he wins, they're saying he might get a shot at the title. So I'm very happy. And so what's next for you, man? So what's next for you besides you just training for this fight for Randy?
Oh yeah, just nothing but training for the Randy fight. My whole entire focus has been on Randy. Like I know I'm really looking hard at this fight, because this guy, tough competitor. really, really strong starter. He has the explosive hands. He has explosive kicks. Like, he's explosive all the way around, and he's the guy that comes out balls to the wall from bell to bell. So I have my hands completely full with this fight. But also I look at this fight now, and I like a lot of things that I see. So it like these next couple weeks are just me just focusing on it, and then after that, get to come home, get to actually get off the diet a little bit and eat whatever I want. So everything's looking good for me, man. I'm loving it.
So who does the UFC? I'm assuming, do you ask for this fight, or they just call you up and say, we got a fight for you, would you take it?
Well, pretty much it was weird how this one turned up. It was like MMA Twitter kind of went crazy after my last fight, started kind of petitioning for a fight, and then ended up happening that some guy was telling Randy Costa that he was scared to fight me, and he's like, no, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of this guy, but I'll fight him. And I was like, oh man, that's really nice, I'd fight you too. So like, kind of friendly rivalry, like it's a real cool, both of us like have respect for each other, no trashing each other except for his Reese's. I talk shit about his Reese's, and then he also talks shit about my Dr. Pepper. So real friendly rivalry. We both got respect for each other. But at the end of the day, we're gonna go in there and try to put each other to sleep. So this MMA Twitter put this together, so I give all the matchmaking to them. It just comes to find out that my manager was like, hey, like, you want this? Do you really want this fight? And we're like, yeah, man. We ended up getting contracts for the fight, and so it kind of came together pretty perfectly.
Well, that's great. And, I want to just ask you a few more things, because I get so excited talking to you guys that I'm going on, and some of my friends who I'm watching are like, hey, Pat, you got to cut it down. I'm like, but I don't want to. I want to talk. I want to ask them everything. But so I'm going to cut it down. So I got 3 questions left. And then, because that's also going to increase viewership. And then with the podcast, it doesn't matter. And that's coming out soon. But let me ask you this. This is my opinion on Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is a beast. Anthony Joshua just got an opening because now Tyson is fighting Deontay, right?
Oh yeah.
He should take I know he's not a shit talker, but his next fight, if he beats I think whoever wins the interim, he should call out Anthony Joshua. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd pay $200. I'm not lying to you. I would pay $200 pay-per-view to watch Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. And I know what would happen, but I'd still watch it.
Oh yeah, like honestly, if you just put 2 heavyweights with massive amount of power in a ring together that say you can only just punch, of course, I'd be paying that $200 myself as well. Even though it's probably going to happen, but at the same time, I would pay for it just because I know something big is about to happen. So, man, it'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see people trying to venture out, but I know how the UFC works, and
yeah, I know
they would never let that happen.
Well, they let it with Connor, but I know they have Zuffa boxing now. But I know it's just like I'm a 12-year-old boy, so I'm like, I love that shit.
Oh no, if we could totally do that, I would be up for it 100%.
Yeah,
there'd be a lot of fights I'd make.
Yeah. So now so 2 last questions. So this next one is called If Bruce Lee Were Alive. So if Bruce Lee were alive, he would blank. So I'll give you an example. If Bruce Lee were alive, he would be on the Joe Rogan podcast. Now you can do, and you could do if he's old or young. It doesn't matter. You could take him in your mind from when we know him as, or if he was alive. So if Bruce Lee were alive, he would.
Man, if Bruce Lee were alive, I'd feel like he'd be even more influential, like, than what he is right now. I like getting cut short at the lifespan that he had. Man, just the amount that he did, whether he was a real fighter or whatnot, whatever, like whatever stories before that, but like the amount of stuff that he was able to accomplish within that amount of time, like, and people still being influenced by it today, it just speaks magnitudes where he was going to be. So I believe he'd be way more influential than what he is right now. So I just see that's how I think you would see it as.
Okay, I agree. And my second one is, if Bruce Lee were alive, he would be verified on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee. Yeah, Bruce Lee were like, he'd definitely be verified, man. Yeah, shoot, man. It took me forever to get my verification. So
I'm trying, and you know, because people are telling me like, oh, it's a big deal, and I'm like, well, here's my verification. Like, I'm here. Look, that's my verification. I'm alive. Okay, final question, and I can't get into it like I used to because I'm you know, like, damn it. But okay, we're getting so the aliens are coming. Just so you know, we see them. We see all their videos, right? We see them, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the aliens come, they come down, they land, they do a mind thing because their technology is beyond ours. They shut off all our technology, even our guns. I'm from Florida, so I gotta conceal it. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you do the right thing with it. That's it. Don't do the wrong thing, and we got to work on how we do this mental health thing with it. Anyway, so they shut off our weapons, right? So we're now, who's gonna fight? Who's got to fight the aliens? You know who?
Oh. So yeah, nothing but UFC fighters, I guess.
The UFC. The UFC. The UFC.
Yeah, we're getting paid, man.
Yeah.
Just have all the heavyweights. Look, you just look, all the heavyweights in the front. Yeah, lined up, ready to go. And then by the time they get tired, you're gonna have the guys who have a little bit more cardio, being able to keep it up. So there's a strategic plan, because by the end of it, the aliens are gonna be dead exhausted. We haven't even been to the lightweights yet. So I think that's a diehard plan. I die on that hill. That's the plan to go to.
Man, you're the first guy who actually went into it with me. The rest of them are like, huh, they thought about it. And then, you know, I would joke like, hey, you got to bring in PFL, but you got to tell PFL, hey, you can throw elbows, because, you know, PFL don't throw elbows.
Yeah.
It's like a rule, but no, that's great. So now here's the question is they finally realized, holy crap, we're getting our asses kicked. So they go, listen, we have this one master alien. We want our master alien versus your best fighter, winner take all. Whoever you win, we go home. Who's the fighter?
Whew, man. I automatically go to the heavyweight champ. Like, whoever's the heavyweight champ, because like, nobody else in any other division is gonna hold a candle to the champ. So, like, to the heavyweight champ at that. So you'd have to go either Derek Lewis or Francis Ngannou. But if you're asking me, I'd say, man, are they being tested? What's going on? Because if they're not being tested, I'm like, Francis Ngannou, let's get him on all the EPOs, all the steroid injections, everything. So, you know, when he's there, he's jacked up and ready to go.
He'd look like the Hulk. He would look like the Hulk.
Oh, that's exactly what we're trying to replicate.
Yeah. The top 3 answers I've been getting is him, of course, then Johnny Jones, John Jones, and Johnny Bones he goes by, and then Khabib. So yeah, so I'm with you there on that guy. So do you have anything you want to promote besides your fight? I'll put your Twitter or Instagram on the description, and hope everyone goes and checks you out. And it was a real pleasure meeting you. So Adrian Yanez, a fighter for UFC, thank you for doing the show. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for having me on, man. Thank you.
No problem. Maybe you come back after your victory.
Oh, absolutely. I have the Dr. Pepper on here.
All right, man. Take care, bro. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
What a wonderful surprise! A lot of people say, what's that? It's Pat.